بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير صدق الله العظيم.
The translation of this verse is, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. O mankind, we have created you from the same male and female, and have made you nations and tribes, so that you may know each other and recognize each other, not that you may despise each other. The most honored among you in the sight of God is he who is the most righteous, and God is all-knowing and all-aware.
After September 11th, I was honored to be invited to travel to Afghanistan as part of an interfaith peace delegation. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, who brought those who had lost loved ones on September 11th here in the United States together with those who had lost loved ones in Afghanistan in the U.S. response to that tragedy. One of the key things that I learned as I traveled throughout Afghanistan was that we were all people of the book. We all honored each other. Muslims, Jews, Christians, and what you just heard from these children was the reality on the ground that we lived, and we've been living since then. I'll share to you from our Jewish prayer book. O God, you have called us to peace, for you are peace itself. May we have the vision to see that each of us, in some measure, can help to realize these aims. Where there are ignorance and superstition, let there be enlightenment and knowledge. Where there are prejudice and hatred, let there be acceptance and love. Where there are fear and suspicion, let there be confidence and trust. Where there are tyranny and oppression, let there be freedom and justice. Where there are poverty and disease, let there be prosperity and health. And where there are strife and discord, let there be harmony and peace. And God, thank you that here on this plaza, we're able to see that harmony and peace for real in our own lives. Let's carry it forward with us.
And I'm going to start off this evening with part of the prayer of St. Francis, which until Craig did this, I hadn't recognized its Jewish roots. But it makes sense that St. Francis had Jewish as well as Christian roots. Please join me in prayer. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is fear, friendship. O Divine Master, teach us to build bridges, not walls. Train us to see sisters and brothers like us in so many ways, and not see aliens or strangers or threats. Lead us to celebrate your rich diversity of creation, so that we treasure people of all ages and colors and faiths and cultures and nationalities and ethnicities and sexualities and walks of life as divine gifts from you. Show us how to turn our enemies into friends, at home, at work, at school, in our neighborhoods, in our nation, and in our world. You whose Son, Jesus, calls us to be peacemakers, transform our hearts, our lives, our communities, and your world with that greatest power of all, the power of love. Amen.
My name is Sneha Khan, and I am an American Muslim Pakistani from Tracy, California, and I will be singing the American National Anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets a red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We each have our own story, and we each remember exactly where we were and what we were doing on that fateful day in September of 2001. We have an amazing lineup of guests and speakers who will be sharing their personal reflections tonight, so that we may begin to heal the wounds through love and kindness and make a commitment to peace and community building. From the Human Rights Commission of Palo Alto, I'd like to welcome Claude Ezra.
Thank you.
Stop the ban on homelessness! Stop the ban on homelessness here! It's against the Constitution, and this man is not carrying into his responsibility.
I'm Claude Ezra. I'm here to represent the Palo Alto Human Relations Commission. Peace and the end of violence are among the noblest goals. As the human race struggles to leave its original animality in order to discover what it really means to be human, thus fulfilling its destiny, as we progressively transition from darkness to enlightenment, let us reflect on the unfinished work that remains before us and the direction we need to take. I see three important levers that we need to push harder on in order to propel us closer to a state of peace. These three levers are education, women's rights, and healthcare. Education, because ignorance is a mother of prejudice and often leads us to demonize whoever is not like us. Intellectual curiosity, on the other hand, incites us to reach out to others who seem different from us and enrich ourselves from learning about their culture. Women's rights, because empowered women are less likely to lead us to war than men. War has too often been caused by fathers sending their sons to the battlefield in a futile quest for an illusionary glory. Mothers better understand the foolishness of war and devastation, and they instinctively know that their sons might not come back. Healthcare, because when we have a long life expectancy, when we can look forward to a long, healthy, and productive life, we are much more likely to greatly value our life and the life of others, and much less likely to throw them away with acts of violence. I'm hopeful that, despite so many setbacks along the way, humanity will continue on its path to greater peace and wisdom. I'm hopeful because I see progress being made worldwide in these three critical areas. But we must not rest. We still have much to accomplish, including here at home, with respect to education, women's rights, and healthcare.
Thank you. From the Chung Tai Zen Center of Sunnyvale, I'd like to invite the Venerable Jian Ying Abbot to the podium. Thank you so much for joining us.
My name is Jian Ying, and I am Buddhist monk. I'm so glad to be here to join this special event. I remember when 9/11 happened, I was in Taiwan. Yes, I originally come from Taiwan, but this is my second home. I have been here for more than 20 years. And on the flight back, right, I think a couple days after 9/11, and when the restriction of flight was not banned, so I was still able to come back. But you know, at the time, fear was really the atmosphere. Everybody was very fearful. And I was also afraid if I was able to get in or not. And today, the theme of the event is from fear to friendship. But how do we really overcome fear? I'm different, right? I'm a Buddhist monk. When people don't appreciate the differences and then try to make differences the same, then I think fear is really overcoming us. On the other hand, when differences are being appreciated, then friendship can be built. Look at the crowd here. We really have a very diversified crowd. So many different faiths are represented here. And in fact, well, people love to see the rainbow, right? Well, when we see the rainbow, we see different colors. If we try to make rainbow the same, or all the colors to be same, I think we don't really see beautiful things. So harmony, peace, is not really being made by making everything the same. On the other hand, harmony and peace is really made by appreciating differences and then really bring differences together. People say America is a melting pot. But I think this melting pot is not trying to melt everything together into something the same. This melting pot, I think it may be like a salad that we were just having, right? Everything enjoy their own existence, coexisting together. I think that's really the message we also want to share with each other. So I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to join you and as part of these differences. In the end, I want to share with you one of the teachings from the Buddha, the teaching of compassion. Because I think to be able to really show our appreciation for differences, compassion, really must be from within. And then we need to support each other. So let me just read these short teachings from Buddhism, and hopefully it will also give you some inspiration. This is the way of those who are skilled and peaceful, who seek the good and follow the path. May they be able and upright, straightforward, of gentle speech and not proud. May they be content and easy wherever they are. May they be unburdened, with their senses calm. May they be wise and not arrogant. May they live without desire for the possessions of others. May they do no harm to any living being. May all beings be happy. May they live in safety and joy. All living beings, whether weak or strong, old or young, men or women, smart or foolish, healthy or disabled, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born. May they all be happy. Let no one deceive or despise another being, whatever their status. Let no one, by anger or hatred, wish harm to another. As parents, watch over their children, willing to risk their own lives to protect them. So with a boundless heart, may we cherish every living being, bathing the entire world with unobstructed and unconditional loving kindness. Standing or walking, sitting or lying down, in each moment, may we remain mindful of this heart and this way of living that is the best in all the world. Thank you.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Next, we have Freya Beg, and she's going to be giving us some comments from the September 11 Families for Peaceful Tomorrows. Please welcome her.
Hi, my name is Faria, and I'm a youth coordinator for American Muslim Voice. And I'm just sharing some comments from September 11th Families for Peaceful Tomorrows. And some of these are letters sent to Samina about the work she's been doing. So, from Colleen, she says, "Thank you for being so courageous and proactive about trying to improve interfaith understanding. What a huge hurdle. And in my opinion, the Multi-Faith Peace Picnic is exactly the type of activity that should be happening on any September 11th. Multi-faith peace picnics and gatherings of peace are wonderful things that people can do on 9/11 that ultimately honor not only our loved ones but all humans." And then Anne Muldery said, "As the mother of one who was killed on September 11, 2001, and as an American and a Christian, I am joined with you and all in spirit of the Multi-Faith Peace Picnic. Thinking of you will be an important part of my meditations on this September 11th. Loretta Filipov said, "On that day, while the Multi-Faith Peace Picnic, I will probably be playing on the beach with my grandchildren, and I will think of all of you. It is because of September 11th Families for Peaceful Tomorrows and people like you that I can keep moving forward. It will be a good day, and a day to join with like minds and hearts and to celebrate the lives that our loved ones lived and not how they died. I know that my husband would agree. Thank you for your unfailing support and love." Andrea LeBlanc, the wife of Robert G. LeBlanc, killed on United Airlines number 175, Lee, sent us a very special message. She said, "I welcome the idea of your Multi-Faith Peace Picnic because it will honor both my husband's memory and my grief. I wish I could be there in Palta with you. Know that I will be there in spirit from New Hampshire. Thank you for doing something that will help turn my sorrow into joy, in peace and gratitude."
The Islamic Networks Group would like to invite Ismail Nas.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Can you hear me? Call me Ismail. Those of you who still read classic will know my name. My name is Ismail. I'm from Syria. Have you heard about Syria lately?
No.
I was born in the city of Damascus, the ancient city of Damascus, and I'm here representing the Islamic Networks Group. We are gathered here in the shadow of this fateful day in the history of this nation that brought out the best in people, from those who heroically risked their own lives to save others, to all of the many efforts over the last decade to sow understanding and peace among people of diverse faiths and backgrounds. It has been remarkable. I remember when my wife informed me how our neighbor knocked on our door, I think it was 9/12, to make sure that nobody was bothering us and offered her assistance in case we needed it. The interfaith community did a wonderful job over the last decade and has made a place at the table and invited their Muslim brothers and sisters in humanity to share that space in an unprecedented way. One can say that the level of interfaith understanding that has been achieved since 9/11 is unprecedented, particularly for American Muslims. The Quranic verse which comes to mind is the verse that was read before, so I'm not going to repeat it, but I'd like to mention a prophetic tradition that kind of follows along those lines. The Prophet told his companions once, should I tell you about something? If you do it, you will spread love amongst you. And he said, spread peace. Peace. The greeting, Islamic greeting, is Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, Shalom alaikum in Hebrew, and that in and of itself defines how people interact with one another. Also, peace is essential to the religion of Islam. It's in the name of the religion, in the name of the followers of the religion, Islam, Muslim, they all relate to peace. And one of the names of God in Arabic, as mentioned in the Quran, is peace, the peace. With those few words, I hope today we can continue that journey of knowing one another, celebrating our diversity and our commonalities, and spreading peace in the world. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. Thank you.
11 years old, I went to Canada alone. My uncle was there, and in Edmonton it was too cold. So I went back to the desert, and they said this was the best area. So I came as a teenager on my own here. And so just wanted to give you a little background. On September 11th, reflection. So I got up and turned on the TV, and I couldn't believe it. So I thought, what should I do? So I took I live in Fremont. So I took the BART to San Francisco. I just want to make sure nothing is happening there. And people's faces, everybody, it was just like anything else. I'm an engineer also, so the numbers. 3,000 people we lost building. There were 50,000 people. In those 3,000, there were 286 Muslims and 85 nationalities. And also on that note, here in Palo Alto, we had a family friend who passed away, Dr. Sharbano, and I missed her funeral because of that. Our country is work in progress. The beauty of those things are, one side is the Patriot Act and other things, and the people who are going through suffering. What I did after September 11th, I got involved with government relations. A lot of Muslim boys were picked up in Midwest, East Coast, based on suspicion. So here, outside culture is different, but if you go into the prison, it's absolutely another story. So I made lots of friends in federal, state, county, city, and have a resource if somebody is picked up. So that's my personal reflection, and we're moving forward, and this is the beauty of it. We get to meet all of you, and a lot of people are coming up and changing the laws. Thank you very much.
It is with great pleasure that I'd like to invite Zara Billo from the Council on American Islamic Relations. You may have heard in the news recently that the SF Bay Area Office of the Council on American Islamic Relations and the Legal Aid Society Employment Law Center just a couple of days ago announced a legal victory in a lawsuit against the clothing retailer Abercrombie & Fitch over the firing of a Muslim worker who refused to remove a religiously mandated headscarf as a condition for keeping her job. So let us congratulate her and her team for that victory.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings of peace. Thank you all so much for being here. Neighbors, friends, Muslim community members, people of other faiths. Today we gather on this day that reminds us of the best and the worst of people. I say this with caution, but it's the first year in 11 that I am not going to condemn terrorism, because I'm done condemning terrorism. I didn't know the people on 9/11. I had nothing to do with them. They weren't in my village. They didn't know my family. And instead, what I will condemn is the civil rights violations, the hate crimes, and the wars that have followed in the last 12 years. And so I'll keep my comments short and say thank you. Thank you all for being here. That this is how we move forward, through conversation, through dialogue, and through building relationships with each other. I sincerely believe that if we can build relationships with people of other faiths and of no faith at all, then we can stand up together against the erosion of our civil liberties, against hate crimes, against employment discrimination, and against endless wars abroad. And so again, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Now I'd like to invite the co-founder of the Safety Education Mutual Respect Awareness and Hope Organization, a domestic violence organization, co-founder Sayeda Rishma Inamdar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I greet you with the Muslim greetings. Peace and blessings of God, however you choose to define Him, be with you. So I know we're here to honor and memorialize those who have fallen on 9/11. And in trying to do that, I went through this process where I started thinking what kind of words, what to do, and then suddenly, all the memories since then came up. All the wars, the innocent lives that have been lost since then, the shootings in schools and movie theaters, and I thought, we've learned nothing. Thousands of people lose their lives, and we've learned nothing. So I was temporarily a prisoner of despair. I was. And I also reflected on the loss of civil liberties, etc., and whether we are eroding the meaning of what it means to be an American. Then I thought about this gathering. How we are all from different walks of life, different faiths, different philosophies, different ways of looking, and we're gathered here intentionally to try and make the world a better place. Intentionally to bring about understanding, love, harmony, those good things. And it is those very things that are the antidote for the hate, for anger. And I think in the moments of greatest despair, we need to do more of these. Thank you, Samina and American Muslim Voice, for holding these kinds of gatherings. We just need to keep on keeping on. We need to continue and do more. We need to reach out to those we've been angry with and try and make peace. I think it is people like us who still hold that hope, which will be the answer for the ultimate despair in the world, and possibly show the light for humanity to find ourselves before we do away with ourselves. And meanwhile, I found this beautiful, heartwarming prayer by Imam Abdullah Antepli. He's the founder and executive board member of the Muslim Chaplains Association. And I thought this was very beautiful, and I wanted to share this prayer with you. God of wisdom and compassion, you create eventual blessings out of every kind of evil. Make us instruments and agents of such creation as we strive to turn the post-9/11 challenges and into blessings for others and ourselves. God of mercy and grace, we bring up the immediate victims and their loved ones of these heinous acts into your attention. Be their light in these moments of darkness and difficulty. God of hope and glory, do not let our hopes be overcome by our fears. Do not let our souls be crippled by despair. Be our source of hope and guidance in these times of sorrow and mourning. O God, if we forget you, do not forget us. In your most holy and beautiful names we pray. Amen. And as the Quran says, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Verily with hardship there is ease. Verily with hardship there is ease. And I think there is ease if we all come together to travel the path together to make it easy on all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now I'd like to invite Samina Sundas, who tries her best to walk in the path of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may blessings of peace be upon him, as he told us that Muslims were sent to earth to be a rahmah, a blessing to all mankind. She has dedicated her entire life to building a beloved community by gathering people for events such as this one. I'd like to welcome her to honor the innocent victims, families, and first responders. The founder of American Muslim Voice Foundation, Human Relations Commissioner of Santa Clara County, and a steering committee member of the MVPJ. Samina Auntie.
Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon all of you. Can you please do me the honor of standing, and we will stand in the moment of silence to really honor the victims, their families, and first responders, especially their families that you heard their comments. My heart goes out to them that how courageous, how wonderful these people are, that after losing their loved ones, they are doing peace work and they are encouraging us to get to know each other. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. Have a seat, please. I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here, for being the part of this wonderful gathering. Because without you, there would be no event. And I know all of you are very busy and you are committed somewhere else. So thank you for making the time. As my parents taught me at a very early age, that it's not that you do something when you have time. What is important to you, you will make time. So thank you for making the time to be here today. As I think of September 11th, I used to feel very, very angry. Angry about Osama bin Laden, who not only killed innocent people, but he also hijacked my religion, the religion of peace, love, kindness, charity, giving, loving, taking care. And I always wondered, if only I could see him once. Then I would tell him, you're a coward. And if you had the courage to stand up and save all the people and save all the Muslims that are killed, the wars that followed this tragedy, you should have, if you have even 1 ounce of humanity in you. Then I got mad about things when we started attacking other people's nations. And that was my own president who decided to go for wars after wars after wars. Nothing has changed. For people who lost their loved ones, they still get up with this sharp pain in their hearts, and they still go to bed wishing their loved ones were there. How do I know that? Because I made it a point to make a relationship with them. I went to New York to visit and be with September 11th for Families for Peaceful Tomorrow. And I have gotten close to their steering members. They are the most wonderful human beings that you ever want to see. And to me, if these people, after losing their loved ones, can do peace work in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in America, none of us have reasons not to do it. That is why I'm so committed to bringing people together. 2 reasons. These people who are giving their innocent lives to war in Iraq, war in Afghanistan, and now we might be going to Syria. Please, do you think it's time to stop? We haven't learned anything. We are not gaining anything from that. So please raise your voice and say no to war. Can you just say no to war today, right now? Stand with me. No, no, no. We do not want any more wars, because we had enough of that. One time, a radio station wanted to interview me, and he was asking me such horrible questions. And then I kept calm and remained calm and kept answering him politely. At the end, he said, "So, you're not getting mad?" And I said, "Were you asking me questions that I should answer, or were you trying to get me mad?" He said, "Well, I just told you that profiling is okay, and you very calmly are telling me that, oh, you have one more job to do now." I said, "Yes." So he said, "If there is a Muslim in the line of the airport, and that Muslim is sweating, and their palms are getting clammy, that means they must have done something wrong, or they're about to do something wrong." And I said, "You just increased my work." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Now I need to train Muslims that if you're having a heart attack in the line of TSA, don't expect them to save you. Make sure you have a cell phone and call 911. So it's just, life has become difficult for all of us. I don't know about you, but as a Muslim for the past 12 years, every time I go to the airport, they make me feel so special. I have to stand in a separate line. They have to ask me to just, raise your arms, do this, put your right leg on. So I finally told them, no, I'm not going to do that. So I ask you to please, I want a private screening. Because I thought if they're going to bother me, I'm going to bother them. So by asking them, that means they have to give me two, agents who are going to come with me and just carry my bags, because I cannot touch my bags at that time. So if they're going to annoy me, I'm going to feel special in that worst situation. So that's what I do. So, and I urge all of you not to walk away. Just like I was asked by a African American that how many people walk away when police always stops African American. Nobody says anything. And since that day, I stop. I slow down and I stop. And I do that after asking a policeman that if I just slow down and look at you when you have stopped somebody on the roadside, am I breaking any law? He said, no. What are you planning to do? I said nothing, just be a witness to who you have stopped. So I urge you, if you see a Muslim family, a Muslim woman, or any minority at the airport, believe you me, it is not a random check. Because random in my dictionary is when you go 10 times, you might be picked 2 or 3 times. When it happens 10 out of 10, it is not random anymore. That means I'm treated very specially, and I take that seriously. So, in loving memory of all the victims, not just for 9/11, especially for 9/11 today, because it's the anniversary, but all the victims of the senseless crimes that have created by men in power. Let us make a pledge. You have on the program, the other side, a pledge. I urge you to just take a very small step every day. That's what it's going to take. All of us, baby steps every day, if we want peace in our nation, especially if we want to leave this nation and this world a peaceful nation for our kids and their kids and their kids. Please be well, and again, thank you so very much for coming. Yes, we heard you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Tell everybody.
Yes.
It's against the Constitution, and it's cruel, just like being against Muslims is cruel. It's cruel to be against.
It is cruel to be against homeless people. I totally agree with you. And yes, I am a supporter of that. And there are lots of other people who are too.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
The American Muslim Voice Foundation was founded in July of 2003 by American Muslims to work for and with all Americans. It is a grassroots movement based on the simple idea that stronger American communities serve the interests of all Americans. The AMV Foundation deeply believes in fostering friendships amongst all Americans by bridging the cultural and religious gaps. Every day we promote new relationships and nurture old ones because our country's safety, security, and peace depends on our getting to know each other better. The organization strives to strengthen the fibers of our world by working alongside neighbors and strangers toward a common goal, forging bonds and sparking friendships in the process. The AMV Foundation continues to celebrate diversity and values all human beings, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, or creed. I'd like you to please save the date for a couple of events that will be taking place. You'll find them on the back of your program. One is the Know Your Neighbors Block Party on Sunday, October 6th, and the AMV's annual Peace Convention, which is on Sunday, December 8th, and our keynote speaker is Shane Claiborne. So please, for details, check amuslimvoice.org. Thank you for joining us this evening. The key to breaking barriers and encouraging unity is engagement. The message we should walk away with from today's event is that we must take it upon ourselves to engage people of different backgrounds and hear their stories as they are meant to be told. That is because the face of America today is not just white or black, Hispanic or Asian. It is diversity. It isn't one solid colored blanket, but a patchwork quilt, threaded together with the unique motifs of all of our stories. I'd like to give a special thanks to tonight's volunteers, sponsors, and co-sponsors. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you at our future events and to continue working with you towards building a better future and a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.